you'll be good.
Yeah, inshallah.
4. We got
Ready for the questions? Ready for any question?
Yes.
He's ready to ask.
Huh?
He's ready to ask.
It's ready. Okay. Can you take like the pencil and write the word G? You ready? Ready for any question, right? Write down the word G.
G.
For all of us or just him?
All of you, inshallah. Without looking at G. Bismillah. Write down the word G. وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر جيء 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 If you cannot write جيء, Dr. Salah, you write جيء. You and Abu Adam.
Oh, yes, I
Both
did.
of you write yeah. And the rest, write down the word Ja'u. Ja'u. The last time, yes. Write the word Ja'u. Huh? Yeah, write it down. Let's see if you can write that down.
It's on the board. Yeah.
Where is it?
Down here.
Oh, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I thought I erased it.
This is the old one.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is two.
But that's different.
Do not look at the word and try to write down.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but
But
that helps.
this is the old one. This is the old.
Is that the Quran or the Quran? In the Quran or outside the Quran?
In the Quran, we're studying Tajweed, inshallah.
That you wrote the outside the Quran, Adam.
You can write both. Tell me like outside of the Quran and also in the Quran. They're both correct. If you can't write both, just give me one. Which word did you choose to write? And you, Abu Adam?
Quran is Jia.
G, the first one, right?
First one.
Okay. Do not look anywhere else until I tell you if it's right or wrong. That's Gia, okay? Joe or Gia?
Gia, Joe.
Oh. Gia. You chose the second, right? Yeah. That's right.
This is mat. Mat. This is mat. Mat balat. Mat badal. Mat badal. Mat tasir. Mat asmat tobi. Replace.
MashaAllah. Aba Adam, show me again. Hopefully you did not fix it. Yalla, I want you to check your mushaf and check if it's correct or wrong. That's wrong.
You sure? It's not wrong.
Yalla, check. Al-Hamza, it's a very tricky topic in Arabic and also in Tajweed. It's the hardest topic in Tajweed in Quran is the Hamza. How you write the Hamza.
And so it's right.
وجيء يومئذ.
So this is also right.
That's not right.
This is right.
Search it on Google. See the forms how it's
I
written.
saw it.
Right here. Check it. Check right here. Where's the Hamza?
There's no Hamza. I don't write Hamza.
Huh?
مد that's mud.
This one.
جاء جيء
هذه الأخير هذا.
مد
لا هذه الصغيرة همزة ولا نون؟
مد
هذه همزة ولا مد في الأخير؟ همزة يا أبا
هي همزة في همزة
أيوة الهمزة مكانها هذا
في همزة بس موجود.
أيوة هذا that's the trick. التريك أين مكان الهمزة يلا؟ أنا أريدكما أن تنظرا إلى مكان الهمزة. هذه التريك تبع الهمزة، انظرا إلى مكان الهمزة. أين؟ على الألف المقصورة أم على السطر بمفردها؟
على السطر بمفردها.
على السطر بمفردها.
مفردها.
يا أختي يجوز وجهان.
على السطر
بمفردها.
شوف أنا I chose جيئة. You know why?
رقم الآية.
You know why I chose جيئة? Because I said جيئة. This sound, like this sound specifically, if you hear the sound جيئة, جيئة by itself, you leave the hamza by itself. على السطر. بالقرآن وخارج القرآن. جاء. Do you put the hamza on top of the alif or على السطر? على السطر. جيء same thing.
So if you continue, then you have to put that,
I mean
right?
writing, not pronunciation. When you write جيء, once you hear, if you hear like the hamza by itself at the end, you have to put it by itself.
No, I mean if you continue like writing. Still?
Still by itself. Do not
Okay,
connect
okay.
the hamza to
Okay.
anything. Remember, one of the tricks of the hamza, that hamza is not connected to anything. You cannot connect the hamza. It cannot be connected. تمام إن شاء الله. And the first question for Umayr. Define the madhuf al-badal. Define the madhuf al-badal. Do you remember or not? Or Abu Adam?
It's every hamz with mad in it.
لا do not look at the word. He helps.
كل همزة ممدود.
It is defined. The definition of the mad al-badal. It's right there. With mad, and it is a primary. It's a case, one of the cases of the primary mad. The question for Abu Adam. Two differences between Hamzat al-Qatr and Hamzat al-Wasl.
Hamzat al-Wasl, you don't write it, you only pronounce it if you're going to start with it. Hamzat al-Qatr, you write it and you read it every time.
Hamzat al-Qatr, you write it down.
You read it every time.
You read it every time.
Hamzat al-Wasl, you don't write it and you don't read it unless if it's you starting by book.
I'm going to trick you right now with one of the questions. Ready? I'm going to mention like a statement and you tell me if it's right or wrong. Hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl, the connecting hamza. Tasqutu khattan wa lafdan. Like you don't, it falls when you write it down and when you pronounce it. Is that correct, completely correct, true or wrong? My statement is Hamzatul wasl tasqut, like you know, basically you
Drops.
don't do it. Khattan wa lafdan. True or wrong?
Wrong.
Generally, without no.
That's the without
If you just
adding
say
any
without-
if.
No.
My statement
It's
is it correct or wrong?
Wrong.
That's Abu Adam. Huh?
It's wrong. They're missing some other things.
What are the other things?
If you
It
start.
has to be in the beginning of the word. And if you start with it, you have to write it, you have to say it. تقرأ إذا بدأت.
So my statement again, huh? I'm going to repeat the statement. Hamzatul wasl تسقط خطا ولفظا. False, يعني you don't write it خطا ولفظا. True or wrong?
No, you can write it, you have to write it. One, if you are continuing to read. But if you stop, then you have to read it.
You see, يعني when I tell you I'm gonna trick you, I really trick
There's
you.
no trick, it's just there's more information.
Huh? No, it's easy, huh? Hamzatul wasl. Hamzatul wasl. That's one of the grammars that we studied last time. One of the يعني agreed point upon. تسقط خطا ولفظا. That's true. Hamzatul wasl.
If they can't do that.
In all of them. بداية الكلمة وسط الكلمة وجيء. ها. I'm going to tell you. Look at the word وجيء again. وجيء. Take this. Hamzatul wasl تسقط خطا ولفظا. You don't write it. Beginning, end, middle, everywhere. It comes sometimes at the beginning of the word. That's right, before the alif. Ash-shams. You write down ash-shams, alif, lam. Lam ash-shams here, right? There's like Hamzatul wasl at the beginning, ash-shams. But sometimes it comes in the middle. Okay, Hamzatul wasl. Maybe, yeah. In the middle, maybe at the end. Sometimes, rare cases. I'm going to give you some examples. So, Hamzatul wasl, 100%, you don't write it. And you don't pronounce it. تسقط خطا ولفظا. خطا means writing, and لفظا pronunciation, you don't write it at all. تمام إن شاء الله.
But you find it or sometimes
You have to
written
read
when
it at the beginning of the word. If you start with it, you still have to read it.
I'm going to give you a task. Give me an example.
We did that last time.
okay اهدنا الصراط. You write the همزة الوصل at the beginning.
اهدنا. That's Hamzat Qata'.
همزة قطع من
That's Hamzat Qata'. When you say I, that's Hamzat Qata'. It changed completely from wasl to Qata'. Some of the words.
قلت استغفروا ربكم إنه
ها
كان
look.
غفارا.
فقلت استغفروا.
قلت
I think we still have
قلت
استغفروا.
استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good example. So you have to read it.
Hold on.
استغفروا يعني إيه.
فقلت
استغفروا ربكم.
Let's have the whistle.
همزة وصل.
همزة وصل.
Yeah.
You know why? When you continue it's همزة وصل. If you stop, read it from here.
استغفروا.
Is that همزة وصل or قطع?
كانت وصل. فقلت استغفروا because if you connect it you just go
Okay.
right away. فقلت
Okay.
you don't say فقلت استغفروا.
Okay.
فقلت استغفروا. You start with the S.
Okay.
The steam.
Okay, let me tell you this right now, inshallah. فقلت, if you continue فقلت استغفروا, it stays as همزة وصل, stays at همزة وصل. You stop, if you start with it, it's not همزة وصل anymore. That's the grammar. It's not همزة وصل anymore.
Is it همزة قطع?
همزة قطع. Yes. You see that?
That's not true.
Abu Adam.
That's not true.
Abu Adam. He's right, but he's thinking if you start with it from here, it stays Hamzat Wasl. No, it's not Hamzat Wasl anymore.
All right.
You know why? Because you already pronounced it. If you don't pronounce it, that's Hamzat Wasl. If you pronounce the Hamza, it's not Hamzat Wasl anymore. That's the difference between Hamzat Wasl and Hamzat
You
Al-Qatr.
wrote down. You said it's a connecting hamza. You pronounce it only if you stop, and you don't write it down on
That's right.
on any case. أو فوقها صادين. Come at the beginning of the word.
That's right. Add there like.
So that means it wasl.
That's right.
Yeah. So
When you start, put there like between parentheses. If you start with Hamzat al-Wasl, the sound turns to Hamzat Qatr.
Yeah, you can do that. That's,
Yes,
that's,
it changes to
that's,
Hamzat
that's a
Qatr.
clarification.
Probably, yeah, I did not add that. If you
But-
start
but-
with the,
but why-
if you start with Hamzat al-Wasl, it changes to Hamzat Qatr. Hamzat Qatr.
طيب why we say هدينا we say أهتينا
Huh?
why we tell
Try to.
أستغفر الله قطع
You said astaghfiru.
عطف.
Yourself.
يا right.
But this one is astaghfiru, a command.
Yeah, right.
Astaghfiru.
Yeah.
You cannot pronounce it with Hamzat Wasl. Changes to Hamzat Qatr if you start with it. If you continue فقلتس, you jumped, you skipped the alif. That's Hamzat Wasl. If you start from here, originally it's Hamzat Wasl. But because you stopped here and you started from here, changes to Hamzat Qatr. Add that to your notes.
I wasn't wrong.
So I did not mention that then. Okay. Okay. I told you to write the word ja'u. Did you check this? This is ja'u, the word ja'u. Who agrees with me? Like, who agrees with this ja'u? Look at this word. It's from last time.
That's the old style.
Look at the word ja'u here, and if you agree with me, raise your hand. Let's vote.
There's two Joes.
Voting. So, who says it's wrong? It's wrong. This one is wrong.
That's the origin, not the.
It's
Yeah,
correct.
that's the
You
It's
can
correct.
also add an
It's
alif at
the
the
old
end.
one.
Otherwise, there's
You can
Alif.
add a alif at the end. وجاءوا.
Okay, next question is for Abdul Nasser. You were here last time, right? Huh. You were not here? Okay. Dr. Salah.
Yes.
The reason for Madd al-Badal. What's the cause for Madd al-Badal? Remember when we actually explained Madd al-Badal, the cause I told you? Al-Huffaz, most of them, they don't know the cause, why, and what's the reason or what caused it. Right now, we studied that last time. What caused Madd al-Badal? What causes Madd al-Badal?
If we have two Hamza,
To Hamza?
the one is sakin and the other is
The first one is second, the other one is?
when two are sakin we have to
So
change the second one.
you have two hamzat. The first one is what?
One متحرك
The first one
Hold
is,
on,
yeah, is متحرك.
The first one is mutaharrik or sakin? Make up your mind.
متحرك.
If two are sakin, we have to change the second one
You have-
into
yeah, but tell
متحرك.
me, like, so the reason for mad al-badal, two hamazat, they meet each other. The first one is
Sakin.
متحرك.
sakin, and
The second one is sakin.
are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure the first one is
Both are
sakin?
sakin.
He said two hamazat, both of them sakinin. They meet each other. That's
Yeah,
impossible.
no, we change the sakin, the other sakin into. We
I'm going to ask Aba Adam. Huh? Aba Adam, what's the reason for mad al-badal? Two hamazat, they meet each other. He already mentioned that. The first one is.
ثانيهم هو ساكن.
Huh?
ثانيهم هو ساكن.
Let me. He's wrong, probably. He's
Was-
wrong. He's right. What did he say?
He said Tanya Huma Sakin. I shouldn't there.
What does it mean in English?
The second one, second Hamza is Sakin.
Perfect.
And what you do when
That's
you
good.
do
He's
Hamza-
right. So the first one is mutaharrika.
متحركة.
First is Mutaharrik, second
The
is
second one is sakin.
sakin.
That's right. Basically, that's the reason for idgham. Remember when we studied idgham, mutamathil, mutaqaribain, mutajanisain? That's the reason for idgham. It should be okay. But in the hamazat, in Arabic language, that's impossible. It's hard. So that's the only exception. So what do we do if we have two hamazat? The first one is mutaharrika, the second one is sakina. What do we do?
We change the.
Let's خلاص, you know that then. مقصد, huh? Let's jump to مقصد.
The second one is sakin, the first one مخارق, you say, right?
Yes,
Okay,
متحرك.
okay.
The first one,
متحرك.
the second one is sakina. What do we do?
So we change with the haraka of the
We
previous
change
one.
what?
The sakin hamza
Uh-huh.
with the haraka of the previous one.
With the haraka
Mm.
or with the similar letter to the.
Similar letter. If it's like fatha, it's gonna be alif. It's gonna be, and if it's dhamma, it's gonna be waw.
Perfect, mashallah. That's good. Look, if you look at this example right here, we did not, I think we explained everything, but we did not explain these examples in details. Huh. Right here, we explained that. Ja'u, look at this word. Ja'u, waja'u. Waja'u. So you have the hamza, the first one is mutaharrika, has dhamma. The second one has sakin, sukun, sakina. What do we do basically? You don't change anything, you just take the whole thing right here, you eliminate that. Eliminate that completely. What do you put in here? What's the letter that's similar to the
Wow.
wow? So you just put so basically some of you would say, let's just like erase the hamza and this one was with sukun. Erase the hamza and just leave this. No. Just erase the whole thing. Because some of the examples, the hamza could be like on ya, or like, you know, probably like here is dhamma and here on ya, or like alif or whatever. So you erase everything in here and put the letter that looks like dhamma, similar to dhamma with the sound. So you put wajah like that. And here, abai. Look at the word abai. The original word for abai, Abu Ali. How do you write the original word of abai? This one.
باء ألف باء
Alif ba. This is the correct spelling. What's the original one? Tell me, huh?
ألف باء
Alif ba.
إي
E.
آبائي
Alif ba. What's the next letter?
إي
In Arabic.
يعني همزة
Where do I put hamza? Here?
and yeah
I'm tricking you. It's a tricky one. Huh?
and the yeah under it.
Let me ask عبد الناصر. عبد الناصر.
I put the alif.
What's the original word for آبائي? همزة. ألف. باء. ألف. همزة. You put the same word. You put what? The first ألف. همزة ساكنة. همزة ساكنة. That's it? Yeah? That's it? The first portion is correct. Listen to Abi Adam.
Okay, so another Hamza on the yeah.
Huh? Do you want to fix it?
Yeah, just remove that Hamza and put the Hamza over yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
In, so with the ya, or if Hamza, ya, after the Hamza there's ya, and then Hamza over the ya.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now you have three
What do
hamzas.
we do with this? We eliminate this.
And you go.
That's it.
Based on the kasra, we put just like yeah.
Yeah, babe.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see, that's how you do it. Another question, then we can start really quick. Or do you want to continue with Hamzat al-Wasl and Qat'a? Let's continue with Hamzat al-Wasl and Qat'a. What did we write about Hamzat al-Wasl and Qat'a? Can you read that out?
And the word Gia.
Huh?
And the word Gia.
The word Gia. Gia. G-A. Here is alif, sakin. The hamza here, you eliminate it. And the hamza should be here by itself. On the line, you don't put it on the ya. No, it's not on the ya. This is just like a tricky question. It's one of the hardest words that you write in the Quran. But you don't need to worry about that. Can you read Abu Adam?
Qadra is disconnecting, you pronounce and write down. And it's also connecting Hamza, you pronounce only if you stop and you don't write it down on any piece. You come on at the beginning of the word.
That's right.
And then sometimes there's harf or household.
That's right.
Sometimes there's
And did we write that Hamzatul Qat'? It's the Hamza that we also pronounce at the beginning of the speech, al-kalam, the beginning of the words, and also when we continue and when we stop. What's the definition of Hamzatul Qat' that I gave you?
You pronounce it and you have to write it down.
That's right.
And
Those are the differences. The definition, did I give you the definition?
yeah, that's
No.
Okay, I'm going to write down the definition of Hamzatul Qat'. Write down that هي الهمزة التي تنطق في بدء الكلام ووصله ووقفه. It is the hamza that is pronounced at the beginning of the speech, al-kalam, and also at the connecting of the kalam, and when you stop. Hamzatul Qat', it is the hamza that you pronounce at the beginning of the speech, al-kalam, and also at connecting the kalam, like in istaghfiru. وَقُلْتُ istaghfiru, the pronunciation is Hamzat Qat'. And also when you stop on any hamza. You know what Ji'a? Ji'a. You remember like when I put Ji'a and the hamza was by itself? That's Hamzat Qat'. Ja'a, Hamzat Qat' by itself. It came at the end. Did you write down the definition? Inshallah. It is the Hamza, الهمزة التي تنطق في بدء الكلام ووصله ووقفه. It is the Hamza that actually pronounced at the beginning and also when you connect words or speeches, and also when you stop. The examples, I'm going to put the examples here so you're not going to be confused. I'm actually trying to give you an example of each case it could be. So these examples I'm going to put down, you will only find Hamzat al-Qat' in just one of these cases that I'm going to write down, inshallah. I tried to summarize all the cases in here. These are all the examples of Hamzat al-Qat' that you will see in your life, in the Quran. If you look at each one of them, it's completely different from the other ones. أتى. This way it's easier for you.
Shay is the same like Nabi, Shay,
Yes, Nabbi.
Nabi, Shay.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are, if you think about it, يعني subhanallah, I gave you an example of every case of the Hamza. Everyone is different from the other ones. ها. This one is مفتوحة في بداية الكلام، مضمومة في بداية الكلام. مكسورة في بداية الكلام، في وسط in the middle, beginning with فتحة, beginning with ضمة, beginning with كسرة, beginning in the middle with فتحة, in the middle with واو on top of the واو, يو with سكون, in the middle with كسرة, ألف, on لم ألف, لم ألف, لم ألف, لم ألف, it is لام and ألف. It's called لم ألف. لام ألف, but we call it لم ألف. لام ألف, basically, this form in Arabic, you cannot separate them. They have to come together, لام and ألف. And the Hamza could come also on this ألف. Could come here, like this word, al-umur. Al-umur. Unless you're يعني حتى even ورش, even in North Africa they say al-umur, but they write it down. Writing the word subhanallah, you see subhanallah, the grammars and writing the words in Arabic, they all agree on them. Even al-qira'at, warsh, khalaf, hamza, they write down the hamza. That's because grammarly this is the correct way. You cannot eliminate the hamza. It has to be there. But pronouncing the hamza, they disagree on, just like, different opinions on, not opinions, qira'at. Watch, they write down the hamza, but they don't read it. They say al-umur, al-umur. But you tell them, al-qurra, the qurra of Warsh, can you write down al-umur? They write it down correct, al-umur, because that's, in Arabic, this is the right way of writing these words. So, on lam alif, and also you see at the end with dhamma, by itself, على السطر. And also, نبئ يا ألف مقصورة ساكنة with سكون by itself with فتحة, by itself with ضمة.
Where is this example of kasra?
Huh?
Kasra as the end.
كسرة.
Yeah, as the end. Like last example, we have dhamma and fatha and sukun, but there is no kasra.
Give me a word with كسرة. You can't. That's impossible.
You can't?
وجيء. Give me a word. جيء. There is no words
Doesn't
like
exist.
that.
Okay.
It's hard.
Okay. I
Yes.
just want to know.
Yes. I gave you the words that are basically passive, because if there's like a hamza with kasra, there is hamza with kasra.
Yeah.
But once you stop on them, sakina.
Okay.
It will become sakina. But you see, shay. You cannot say شيئي. العرب لا تقف على متحرك. In Arabic, people, they don't stop on something that's moving. You have to make sukun. So we said, this is like an example, شيء على كل شيء قدير. But you stop شيء ساكنة. But I put this specifically because it's a rare case. وجيء. Even subhanallah, يعني in comparison to different words, this has like a special type of pronunciation. When you recite, you say, you don't say وَجِيء يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمْ. That's in khalaf. وَجِيء يَوْمَئِذٍ. He still pronounces it. يَوْمَئِذٍ. He pronounced the hamza. In Hafs, وَجِيءَ. These are the examples that you will see in the Quran for Hamza al-Qatr.
Good.
بريء
بريء.
بريء تكتب on الياء على الهمزة. الهمزة على الياء, right?
نفس هذه. بريء, like innocent. بريء. So, if you think of any word, it has to have like a similar word from here. So right now, the next topic here, دخول همزة الوصل على همزة قطع ساكنة. This is a tricky topic, inshallah. It's good, mashallah. دخول همزة الوصل.
عربي
هم
أعجمي وعربي.
It's a very good topic that people they don't talk about. It's you need to know these if you study Tajweed. لا همزة قطعا ساكن. So this new topic, when Hamzat al-Wasl, the connecting Hamza, that we don't write it basically, when it comes ala upon like the Hamzat al-Qat', the disconnecting Hamza. So basically you have two Hamzat, Wasl at the beginning and the Qat', it comes next with Sukoon. So the first Hamza is Wasl, and the second one is Qat' with Sukoon. This is the topic. The case of Hamzat Wasl, connecting Hamza, upon the disconnecting Hamza, Qat' with Sukoon. When the Hamzat al-Wasl comes to the Hamzat al-Qat', and the Hamzat al-Qat' has Sukoon, what do we do? You're done with this?
Yeah.
So, can we erase it? Inshallah? So what do we do here? I'm going to put this in here, inshallah. صاحب العربي إذا دخلت همزة الوصل على همزة قطع ساكنة فإننا عند البدء نبدل همزة القطع الساكنة حرف مد مجانس لحركة همزة الوصل. فنبدل همزة القطع الساكنة إلى حرف مد مجانس لحركة همزة الوصل. So you have basically you have Hamzat Wasl. Okay, and remember, how do we write Hamzat al-Wasl? Anybody knows how to write Hamzat al-Wasl?
ممكن ألف
Two.
with a
ها سأشرحها.
Okay.
And then on top of that is this kind of.
Alif, and there is a sign, little sad. That's the only form of writing Hamzat al-Wasl.
Or it could be at all.
That's Alif Sakina. Alif Sakina that you don't read in the Quran. If you see Alif with a circle on top of it, it's called Alif Sakin.
Or an empty other.
Empty Alif. So Alif with little sad, Alif with little sad. We wrote that last time, right? So Alif with little sad, that's Hamzat Wasl, Hamzat Wasl.
Or Alif.
Or Alif by itself.
By itself.
Sometimes. Hamzatul Qata', you have to see this shape. That's Hamzat al-Qata'. And there's like Hamza like this in here, but because it's weak and it's connecting the words, so we don't put it. Because if we put this in there, you will read it as Hamzat Qata'. So that's why we don't put it there. So the topic is basically, if you have Hamzat Wasl that you don't pronounce, comes and meets with Hamzat al-Qata' with Sukoon. What do? When we start the speech, we change the Hamzat al-Qata' that came with Sukoon, which is the second one, right? To a letter of a mad similar to the haraka or the move on top of the Hamzat al-Wasl. I'm going to give you examples here. I remember like one time you asked me how do we start with the hamazat sometimes. These are the only hamzat we see in the Quran. I try every time when we study something, I collect everything that you will see in the Quran. These are the only types you will see in the Quran. Remember, like, you know, I think you asked me about Ituni. We don't have in Hafs Ituni, right? Ituni. We have so just like these 4 cases in Hafs. When we start with them.
أعجمية وعربي مو غير
لا.
ما في
شيء آخر.
همزة وألف مو
قطع أعجمي. الأول استفهام والثانية قطع.
أئذة
أئذة بدل
قطع مع أول واحدة
أئذة
أول همزة
أئذة قطع أئذة واستفهامية أئذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما إنا لمبعوثون.
يعني
They're asking.
تو همزة
الأولى استفهامية
استفهامية.
همزة الاستفهام. You were done, John?
So Sheikh, so الذي أؤتمن معناتها همزة الوصل
Okay.
نزلت.
الآن we are going to explain that in details inshallah. You're done with it? So if you look, you have همزة وصل and همزة قطع ساكنة. همزة وصل and همزة قطع ساكنة. Okay? You see here? همزة قطع. What do we do? I made it easy. Huh? Read the comment right there.
كان همزة القطع والسكون
We change همزة القطع when we start عند البدء. When you start, like, read this by yourself. I want every one of you to read this. الذي أتمنى. This is how you say it. It's tricky. That's why this is one of these cases. Some of those cases, if you are reciting in Hadr, you have to slow down. الذي أتمنى. Can you say that, Umar? الذي أتمنى. It's not أؤتمنى. الذي أتمنى.
الذي أؤتمن.
الذي أؤتمن.
أقصد.
الذي أؤتمن.
الذي أؤتمن.
الذي اؤتمن.
Good. Next table, the second table. في السماوات ائتوني. أنوف. في السماوات ائتوني. Louder a little bit. في السماوات ائتوني.
في السماوات ائتوني.
عبد الناصر.
في السماوات ائتوني. في السماوات ائتوني. في السماوات ائتوني. في السماوات ائتوني.
No, no. في السماوات ائتوني.
في السماوات ائتوني.
look. في السماوات ائتوني. تئتوني. في السماوات ائتوني.
في السماوات ائتوني.
Yes, perfect. ما شاء الله. Last table. لقاء نأتي. لقاء نأتي أمصار. لقاء نأتي.
لقاء نأتي.
Next. نورشين.
لقاء نأتي.
يوسف.
لقاء نأتي. لقاء نأتي.
لقاء نأتي. The last three. يقول ذلي. يقول ذلي. عماد.
يقول ذلي.
اسماعيل.
يقول ذلي.
يقول ذلي.
يقول ذلي.
So what do we do with them? It says we change همزة القطع. همزة القطع, it's the one that you see. It's همزة. This is همزة القطع and this is همزة الوصل. همزة القطع is ساكنة. We change همزة القطع that came with سكون to a letter of mad similar to the حركة on top of the همزة الوصل. You see, that's the trick. Where's the حركة on top of the همزة الوصل? You see, that's so tricky. That's why I didn't put anything in here. I want you to think about it. Where's the حركة on همزة الوصل? So tricky right there. It's not tricky, خلاص, as Abu Adam said, that's not tricky. Just information, يلا. Do you know where the حركة of همزة الوصل? I want you just read them again and try to find out where's the حركة.
After the hamza, after hamza the first letter after hamza is the haraka.
I'm going to give you one more minute to think about it. Yes.
ضم على التاء.
It's the one before. If you start with it, if you're starting or continuing, right? Then we continue.
So read it. الذي يؤتمن الذي يؤتمن.
If you start with it, the idea is when you start with it.
If you start,
You see, subhanallah, this is so tricky. It is when you continue, read it. الذي الذي. It's basically but this is how you say it. الذي as of ضمة there. ضمة. So it takes the حركة from the sound before همزة الوصل. It takes the sound from just the sound from the sound, not from the حركة, from the sound. Read the second one. Read the second one. في السماوات That's the sound.
سقطت همزة الوصل.
The first one. الذي. I haven't even got there. الذي. You cannot say الذي. It's hard, so you have to say الذي. You jump correctly, subhanallah. Your tongue, يعني, that's why we call it, this is one of the مدود of المد الطبيعي, natural. By saying it, it comes naturally. الذي يؤتون, because if you read it precisely based on how it's written, الذي همزة وصل. الذي, then you don't pronounce the الألف with همزة الوصل. الذي, then start with سكون, you can't. With waw and sukun, you can't. الذي, it's impossible, that's hard. Arab do not start with sukun. So you have to connect it. الذي يؤتمن. The sound, that sound that you feel before Hamzat al-Wasl, الذي ضمة. That's the sound when we connect, it's ضمة. So how do we write this basically? This is how we are, this is how we're going to write it down. I'm going to analyze the hamazat here, the harakat, the moves of the Hamzat al-Wasl here, and then I'm going to tell you how do you pronounce it in here. The second one, في السنوات تأتوني. You don't see this in the Quran, I'm just writing this down to you. How do you pronounce it? The third one, لقاء نأتي. المصحف؟ You have your phone? Open سورة البقرة آية 283. And Brother Salah, you open Surah Al-Ahqaf آية 4. Surah Al-Ahqaf آية 4. Abdul Nasser, you have your phone? Yeah. Open Surah Yunus آية 15. آية 15. Surah Yunus آية 15. Open it. And who has another phone? I need one more person. Open Surah At-Tawbah 49. Surah At-Tawbah 49. Ready? Abu Adam, can you recite ayat 283?
What surah is this?
Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah 283.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة فإن أمن بعضكم بعضا فليؤدي.
That stop. فليؤدي الذي. Stop right there. Continue and stop on the word الذي.
فليؤدي الذي.
Let's say like you wanted to stop. فليؤدي الذي. Or like your breath didn't actually help you, you stop there. فليؤدي الذي. Remember we spoke about this. فليؤدي الذي. If you continue. فليؤدي.
connecting that one.
Yeah, connect.
فليؤدي الذي اؤتمن أمانته وليتق الله ربه.
That's fine. That's correctly perfect. فليؤدي الذي اؤتمن أمانته. That's fine. He pronounced the hamza. So let's say he stopped on the word الذي, and he couldn't connect الذي to the next word, and he wanted to continue just from here. How do you connect it?
اؤتمن أمانته. اؤتمن.
اؤتمن. Okay. You see, yeah, I'm not gonna use trick word anymore. So this is okay. This is basically the analysis of the haraka of Hamzat al-Wasl. How do you pronounce it here? I'm going to tell you how do you pronounce it here. Write down that. What did we say here, Abu Adam? We change Hamzat al-Qat'. We change Hamzat al-Qat'. We eliminate that to, and we replace it with what?
With the
With a letter of mad similar to haraka of al-wasl. What's the similar haraka to al-wasl?
Wow.
How do you say that, Abu Adam?
اؤتمن.
Utumina. Do not say utumina. Say utumina. Write that down, inshallah. And remember, a letter of mad, which means what? Waw sakin, ma qablahu, and the letter before it, dhamma. The next word here, this is how you start with it.
So when you read it in the Quran, you say utimina.
Do not pronounce the hamza.
Okay.
Utumina.
Utimina.
If you start with it.
You start. You start. Oh, if you start with it.
So here, al-hamza sukun, you eliminate that. What do you replace it with?
Yeah.
With ya. Ituni. Ituni. Ya sakin ma qablahu maksub. And here, إيتي ممتاز. إيتي بقرآن. إيتي. هنا إذا لي. Okay, okay. Put those down. Surah Al-Ahqaf. Can you read ayah number 4?
قل أرأيتم ما تدعون من دون الله
قل what?
قل أرأيتم
أرأيتم.
قل أرأيتم
What mad is that?
همزة قطع.
What mad? Show me. What mad is that?
أصلي.
We just finished it before that.
بدل.
بدل. ها؟
أصلي
قل
بدل.
continue. ها؟ قل.
قل أرأيتم ما تدعون من دون الله أروني ما
No. Why do you say it really quick? قل أرأيتم.
قل أرأيتم ما تدعون من دون الله أروني ماذا أروني ماذا خلقوا من الأرض أم لهم شرك في السماوات.
Continue. Do not stop.
لهم شرك في السماوات تؤتني
لا. أم لهم شرك التاء مكسورة. أم لهم شرك
في السماوات تؤتني بكتاب.
No. I just told you. How do you read this?
أتوني.
Read it, the whole thing.
في السماوات يؤتني.
لا. عبد الناصر. في السماوات توني. يلا read it.
في السماوات توني.
في السماوات. Do not stop. If you stop, the trick is right there. When you stop, it's hard to continue.
في السماوات توني
No.
في السماوات ائتوني بكتاب من قبل هذا أو آثارة في من علم أو آثارة من
أو أثارة.
أو آثارة من
What mad is that?
أو بدل
بدل.
Yeah.
أو أثارة من علم.
من علم إن كنتم صادقين.
حسبك. Repeat that from the Quran.
من وين؟
من الآية في السماوات.
في السماوات ائتوني بكتاب.
لا دكتور صلاح. This is watch me.
No.
في السماوات تئتوا في السماوات تئتوا. Emphasize on the كسرة and then everything will come correct.
في السماوات ائتوني.
Do not speed. You're speeding up ما شاء الله.
Okay.
في السماوات ائتوني.
في السماوات ائتوني.
Perfect. You see that? You gave it يعني الحقوق. حقها ومستحقها. The rights of the كسرة.
Okay.
في السماوات ائتوني. say that.
في السماوات ائتوني.
Stop on the word السماوات.
في السماوات.
Go back two more words.
ماذا خلقوا من الأرض لهم شرك في السماوات ائتوني.
No, stop on the word السماوات.
في السماوات.
في السماوات. Continue.
ائتوني.
How do you continue? I just told you here.
ائتوني.
يلا, let's apply that.
ائتوني بكتاب من قبل هذا أو
That's ayah number 4 الأحقاف. If you want to open your مصحف to check it.
What surah?
الأحقاف. أحقاف. سورة الأحقاف. آية number 4.
502. Page 502.
502. Okay. سورة الأحقاف. ماذا خلقوا في السماوات.
ماذا خلقوا في السماء من الأرض أم لهم شرك في السماوات.
وقف. أم لهم شرك في السماوات. Stop there. في السماوات مدها. قل أم لهم شرك في السماوات.
أم لهم شرك في السماوات. ائتوني بكتاب.
You see that? Beautiful, right? Do not say ائتوني. ائتوني بكتاب. Okay? That's ayah number 4 سورة الأحقاف. سورة who's next? سورة يونس. يونس آية. سورة يونس آية 15.
وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قال الذين لا يرجون لقاء نأتي بقرآن غير هذا أو بدله.
ما شاء الله. Stop on the word لقاءنا. Repeat the ayah.
وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات.
Raise your voice a little bit.
وإذا تتلى عليهم آياتنا بينات قال الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا ائت بقرآن.
No. Check right there. That's the trick right here. No. Where's the Hamza? There's no Hamza. We already eliminated the Hamza and we replaced the Hamza with Ya. إيتي. إيتي بقرآن. قولها. No. ليست إيتي. إيتي. Let it go. هو بيقول إيتي أنت تسمع؟ إيتي. أوكي. يلا. إيتي بقرآن. إيتي. أنا أسمعها إيتي. إيتي بقرآن. يمكن مدها شوية. Can you stretch it a little bit? You know why you have to stretch it? It's يا مد. إيتي بقرآن. وضح 2 حركات. إيتي بقرآن. واضحة. سورة last one. سورة التوبة 49. ولا تفتني. ألا في الفتنة سقطوا. Stop at the word. ومنهم من يقول. Continue. No. إذا لي. So Yalla, repeat that one more time.
What ayah?
Tawbah 49.
At-Tawbah 49. Surah At-Tawbah 49. ها عماد, can you practice that? ومنهم من يقول. Good. Continue. Do not stop. ومنهم من يقول. Go back. Yes. ومنهم من يقول ذلي ولا تفتني. If you stop ومنهم من يقول إذن لي. It's not إذن لي. إذن لي. So right now, grammarly, like in Arabic, and also based on the Quran, when we're talking in the masjid and I say أبا آدم إذن لي أذهب إلى المكتب وأرجع, that's wrong. But we got used to the wrong stuff. To the point, if I say إذن لي, what is he talking about? خلاص, people, they get used to the wrong words, to the point if you say the right thing in front of them, they think it's wrong. You see that? So
that Arab speak Tajweed or to speak Arabic?
إذن.
I don't know, like we don't say it.
إذن لي, imagine even Hafs, he was actually applying the most common Arabic language. In these ayats, Hafs, his qira'ah was based on the Arabic dialogue. يعني حتى العرب long time ago, they don't say إذن لي. Remember when we said they don't connect between two hamazat, so they say إذن لي أن أذهب. So the right thing, I say إذن لي, please allow me to go. إذن لي. If you say إذن لي أروح, so that's messed up. Okay? So one of the huge mistakes that you see in text messages also, I'm sure you have seen it. Maybe you practice.
Text message class.
We're done, inshallah.
No, I'm saying text message class, mashallah. We're gonna be text messaging correctly now.
Yes, inshallah. One of the mistakes that I'm sure, Brother Khalid, Abdul Nasser. I think Abdul Nasser, he did this mistake so many times. Probably, maybe 100% of this class, they used to write this word wrong. And as I told you right now, wallahi, yani, that's from Allah. You are better than so many huffaz in knowing the hamazat, how to write words. So I know that maybe most of the class, they used to write نحن, we are studying Quran. You see that word? Isn't it? Be honest. Didn't you write that word at least once in your life? Yeah. That word? Right? Maybe some of you, they still write that word, Al-Quran, like that till today. Yeah. It's okay, inshallah. That's why we're here. So the right way to write Quran, how do we write the word in Quran?
Q-U-R-I.
So most of us, don't you see this word like, all the time in text messages or anywhere? Some people, sometimes also, mashayikh.
It's like Amin.
Yeah, mashayikh. That's why it's fard ayn. It's fard ayn because mashayikh, they come and he speaks about the Quran and he doesn't know how to write Quran. That's horrible. That's very huge mistake. How do we write the word right now? I think you're experts, mashallah. How do we write the word Quran?
Hamza instead of that.
Hamza. With mad صغير, with a short mad or long mad? Short mad or long, this one or this one?
No mad.
Are you sure? No mad. No mad. You see the right words for Quran? Imagine, wallahi, yani one day, I was texting like a PhD professor, and I wrote it this way. And that's my specialty. I know this for real. He was surprising, why did I write it that way? You see, he doesn't know how to write the word Quran.
But he knows the other way.
This is the right way. If you check even at the cover of the Quran, there's Hamza. People, they don't write the Hamza. And people, sometimes some of the books, they write Hamza and Mad here. The Mad in Warsh. Al-Quran. But the right way is right in Tajweed Hafs. This is the right way. No Mad, it's Mad Badal. Al-Quran. You see, this is one of the most common mistakes that people make. Even with that basic word that we all know, Al-Quran, everybody knows this word, but not everybody know how to write it correctly. Right now, mashallah, you know how to write the word correctly. I think Brother Khalid, you told me you were arguing with one of the Arabic brothers.
Right here, and he was telling that one.
He said that's wrong.
Yeah, that's
they
wrong.
got to the wrong stuff, to the point if they see you writing the good word correctly, they think it's wrong. That's why they transmit. You know why we think this word is correct?
Yeah.
Because we see it. We see it. We just keep seeing this word and we think, so you write down the Quran. That's completely wrong. And we actually teach our kids.
So how come this came in, Al-Quran?
Somebody, he said Al-Quran, and he put it how
So he put the madda.
based on how he pronounced it. But it's Mad Badal. Mad Badal.
عازم دخلوا على الهيئة.
What time is it?
1 o'clock.
Bedtime.
How is it written like that?
Alif,
My way? Alhamdulillah.
and then
Because he was talking to one of the brothers, he told him, no, that's wrong. The Sheikh Shams is teaching you the wrong stuff. You see, subhanallah, يعني
Yeah, but it's called جهل مركب.
the compound. So inshallah, يعني, you know these stuff and we will continue inshallah with these next time inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.
جزاك الله خير.